Good morning, I'm Susan Richard. Wednesday News Time 7:30.
And a very good Monday morning. I'm Scott Stanford. You know, they are absolutely gorgeous animals, right? And when you see them pulling those carriages on the streets of New York, especially in the hot summer, you just get that awful feeling in your stomach for those horses. Well, 2.5 years after a carriage horse named Ryder collapsed on the streets of Hell's Kitchen, well, the horse's owner is now facing a criminal trial.
The owner of Ryder, Ian McKeever, faces up to a year in jail and some fines as well as his trial gets underway. It was viral video from the streets of Hell's Kitchen in August of 2022 showing Ryder kicking on the ground and being beaten by McKeever. The animal was 26 years old, it turns out, and died later. As Adina Bernkrant and the group NY Class plan on protesting throughout the trial, I asked her, what about tourists that really love this industry?
People aren't necessarily educated about what's going on. If you go to a city you've never been to and you see something as a tourist industry, you're probably going to assume it's okay. That you might not be aware that there's a criminal abuse case happening, that there's regular crashes and horses dropping dead and injured horses.
She says 70% of New Yorkers surveyed want horse carriages banned for good. Glenn Shuck, 1010 Wins, 92.3 FM, here at Court in Lower Manhattan.
Wins News Time, 7:31. Traffic and transit Monday morning, smack in the middle of rush hour. How we looking, Andre Ferro?
Very busy morning. Obviously, a lot of people went back to school today, so you're dealing with extra volume on the roads and bigger delays at the crossings. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Inbound GWB, you're looking at least a 45-minute delay. Eastbound 46 and the southbound Palisades ramp is also backed up. West Side Highway is way better in and out of Manhattan than the FDR Home River Drive combo. Inbound Lincoln's going to cost you 25, at least 45 to 50 minutes now. The inbound side of the Pulaski and heading towards the Holland Tunnel, bumper to bumper, the entire stretch through Jersey City. It doesn't help we have that crash in the northbound Turnpike heading up towards the Western Spur, just north of the Newark Bay extension, which is also bumper to bumper. You want delays? We have them in Staten Island, huge, as you make your way eastbound over by Victory Boulevard and across the span of Verrazano into Brooklyn, bumper to bumper, the entire stretch. The westbound BQE crash has cleared over by the Williamsburg, but the delays haven't. You have big delays that go all the way back to Queens and over by Queens Boulevard. Inbound GWB, that's going to cost you at least 40 minutes. The outbound Cross Bronx and Bruckner slow approaching the Bruckner interchange, and the Bronx River Parkway is going to be busy from Westchester Avenue all the way to the Alex. In a jam? Call the Barnes Firm 1010 Wins traffic tip line, 844-JAM-1010. Traffic and transit on the ones and breaking traffic alerts whenever they happen. Andre Ferro, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
I'm attorney Rich Barnes. If you've been in a car...
Hello all, welcome back to another time capsule. This time capsule is featuring February 24, 2025. So whenever you're watching this, I hope it brings back some recollections of this particular day in history. We're gonna lower the volume there for a moment while we get that commercial music
The song at the
ending.
stadium after games they lose. It was New York, New York. Now it's going to be That's Life.
New York, New York.
Songs after they
Start spreading the news.
set of them.
I'll be very careful with your eardrums. I'll try not to infiltrate them with some horrible
Can't deny, Joe, that
music
you, my friend, are an
or a horrible voice on my part.
this week.
We can breathe a sigh of relief. The worst of it is behind us right now.
Feet up on the desk, Joe. Get your feet right up on those desks, my friend.
Hands behind my head, by the way, as well. It's going to be a nice one today. A simple forecast with sun and some clouds. We'll get up around 50. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight. Cloudy skies tonight. 40.
It's gonna be warm.
Low to mid 30s in most suburbs. A mild day tomorrow, but with more clouds, and there is a risk of a shower in the afternoon and evening. That's from a frontal system that will be falling apart, the high 54. I say that because Wednesday's just as mild behind it, but back to sunshine, the high 54. It's cloudy and mild on Thursday, kind of breezy too, with a couple of showers, 54 to 58, windy, chillier, but dry with some sun on Friday. Right now, mostly cloudy and 36 in Central Park, humidity at 55%. There's not much wind. Repeating the current temperature 36, headed to 50 in Midtown. I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds at 92.3 FM.
Imagine all the things you dream of under one roof. You're thinking of eBay, fashion, collectibles.
Most of the snow has melted, and today is going to be warmer. It says they're saying that it's going to get as high as 50 today. If you looked at some of the other earlier days on these time capsule videos, you'll see there was a lot of snow on the ground. I mean, not a lot, but there was snow on the ground.
On national television, saying that he's basically actually got the mayor under his control. That's concerning.
Governor did say once again she will not be removing the mayor from office anytime soon. She has said the fate of Mayor Adams should be left up to the voters to decide at the ballot box. Hey, if you were to take your pick for the world's most famous owl, some may say Hedwig from Harry Potter, right? Some would maybe say the owl from the Tootsie Pop commercial. You know, the one that answers the question, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Let's find out. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, there he is. But if you ask New Yorkers, their favorite owl, of course, will forever be Flacco. 1 year after his death, Flacco lives on in our hearts and at a new exhibit.
People from New York and across the country, including Bailey from Nashville, are flocking to see an exhibit here honoring Flacco the owl.
It's really worth seeing. I thought it's pretty charming. It's nice that all the New Yorkers supported the little owl.
Flacco escaped after someone broke into his enclosure at the Central Park Zoo in February 2024. He evaded capture and lived in the city for several weeks until a city building got in his way.
It sounds like a lot of birds are flying into windows and dying.
Bailey says this is a nice tribute to the bird. Darius Ramsey's 1010 wins at 92.3 FM on the Upper West Side.
What you got to say?
Days out from the Oscars, the Screen Actors Guild handed out their awards last night. Fans of Wicked, not all that thrilled with the outcome. 1010 Wins Entertainment's coming up next.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum.
Where you see that smoke billowing up, that used to be the site of the red Markel paper building. That was very iconic for many, many years.
Is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Patrick Mengen, Managing Director in Anshin's Private Client Group.
Strategic charitable giving can provide tax benefits for high net worth individuals and families.
The sun looks humongous on the screen here, on the viewfinder of the camera. But it's just the glare.
Real estate may require appraisal.
So we're waiting for the 740 headlines. I don't know how much of it we'll be able to keep on this particular time capsule. But we'll see, right?
And preserve your wealth. Let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
Today's tax tip was brought to you by Anshin. Visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
Well, the SAG Awards partying up last night in Hollywood. The papal thriller Conclave winning for Best Ensemble Cast. Jane Fonda picked up the SAG Life Achievement Award. I wonder if that comes with free health insurance. One of the upsets on the night, Timothée Chalamet took home Best Actor for A Complete Unknown.
I know the classiest thing would be to downplay the effort that went into this role and how much this means to me, but the truth is this was 5.5 years of my life. I poured everything I had into playing this incomparable artist, Mr. Bob Dylan, a true American hero, and it was the honor of a lifetime playing him.
He did a great job. Bob Dylan biopic is up for 8 Academy Awards. Demi Moore won for Best Female Actor for The Substance. Kieran Culkin won for Best Supporting Actor in Real Pain. Zoe Saldana, Best Supporting Female Actor for Amelia Perez. And how about this? Wicked took home exactly 0 SAG Awards. Oscars coming up this Sunday.
It feels great to be a New York lottery winner. So great that we're multiplying the numbers of $10,000 prize winners each.
One of the cool things I find about historical situations and historical things, I like going back and checking different years. And there's a lot of these like books, like you pick a year and you can read and read what movies were the top movies in the theaters, who won the Oscars that year, the songs that were #1 hits in those years. I like this video time capsule idea. I hope it takes off. And I hope people can enjoy time capsules from the past through this particular type of video. But anyway, that's the goal. That's the mission. Because if you really think about it, these videos aren't very entertaining, right? In terms of YouTube. But I think it'll be important as years go by, right? At least I hope. But here we go. 740 headline news. A little snippet.
All right. Make that switch to All News 92.3 FM. Your ears will thank you for it.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning. We're 31.
Saw that red car was in the lane to turn left, but he used the left lane to get in front of all these cars that were on the right.
On the waters off Staten Island, a boat sinks. 3 people killed, 2 critically injured. 1 is still missing. Pope Francis said to be resting today after a quiet night as the pontiff is now in his 10th day in the hospital. Ukraine's President Zelensky says he will gladly step down from his position if it means peace in the region or a Ukraine membership to NATO, as the war with Russia marks 3 years today. Sorry, we're closed. That's what the sign's going to read on the Roosevelt Hotel in the coming months. Mayor Adams says that migrant shelter is going to be shutting down its operations.
Sorry about the blurriness.
Not from the Oscars. That's 6 days away. In 7 days, the Florida Man Olympics is back, and it is better than ever, baby. Wait till you hear these events they got going. Checking sports, Rangers and Devils win. Knicks Islanders lose. St. John's beats UConn again. Winds News Time, 7:41. By the way, going up to 50 degrees today. Woo-hoo! Let's get you back out to the roads for Andre Ferro.
Big delays on Long Island. If you're traveling on the eastbound side of the Southern State Parkway, here's what we see on Long Island's Big 3 from Eagle Avenue to the Wantar bumper to bumper. And then the westbound side is slow just west of the Meadowbrook. Looks like we have a stalled vehicle there. The westbound LIE slow approaching Glen Cove Road. And then again by the Queens border. It looks like the Northern State Parkway is the best of the bunch. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Inbound GWB, 45 minutes. The southbound Palisades ramp also seeing a lot of volume. Now, if you're traveling on the inbound Lincoln, 25 minutes all the way back to the Eastern Spur, and then you get a break for a second, and it gets slow again around the Helix. If you're using the inbound Holland, 139, not only stacked, but the Pulaski Skyway and the northbound Turnpike dealing with an incident just north of the Newark Bay Extension, so everything is all screwy there. Traveling westbound BQE.